Why don't you give me a sign, like the sea that leads a trail along that shore? It's not your problem, it's mine. Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in, I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe, a London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
Thanks for joining me. So, if we go back to the beginning, was there a defining moment for you guys to get into the entertainment industry?
Oh gosh,
Okay, mine's too jokey, so
Yeah.
you better go.
Oh gosh, I suppose so. I mean, I've always wanted to get into the entertainment industry, from a young age. But I think the defining moment for me was I went for an open audition for a show called Mama Wanna Sing, and yeah, it was an open audition. I went for it, and I got a part in the ensemble, and that was kind of it. And I thought, oh, it kind of just happened, just like that, So, but it's something I've always wanted to do, but didn't think that it was something that was going to be something that was possible. So, defining moment, yeah, that was the one for me, and then it just kind of snowballed from that point on. Actually, so I was in my early teens, mid-teens.
Awesome.
For me, I went out to America to do a business course, and it turned out to be probably one of the most boring things I've ever experienced in my life. So I thought I'd take an acting class, just for a bit of a laugh, and I thought I might meet some interesting people, and I fell in love with it. Just fell in love with it. So aged 20, I did the college play. Someone came up to me afterwards and said, "Have you ever thought of doing this professionally?" And I went, "No." They said, "I have affiliates at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. Would you like to audition?" I flew back to London, auditioned, got in, and thought, "All right, I'll try this." And literally, that was it. It was completely serendipitous. I fell into it, and it's worst decision I've ever made. But no, it was, and so I'm incredibly lucky to have found it, and to find a passion when you're not looking for it is incredibly lucky.
Awesome.
And to be able to make that your career as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it about The Lion King that made you want to be a part of it? And obviously, you both are playing two such iconic roles.
Gosh, I mean, it's just a wonderful piece of theatre. When I first saw it, when I first heard about it, because I actually saw the first time I saw it is when I actually got the role of Mufasa 15 years ago. But it's obviously been running a little longer than that. So when I saw the show, saw the spectacle, and saw just how many awards it had won, and the kind of African theme and the story. I mean, I've loved the Lion King story because we watched the cartoon as kids, So I just thought it was amazing. And then when I actually got the part, it was quite an overwhelming thing, because I just thought, the guys that had played Mufasa before me are fantastic actors, big in the game, and so it was big shoes to fill. So it was daunting, overwhelming, scary, the whole thing. And I just couldn't wait to kind of get my teeth into it. And 15 years later, 15 years later. But yeah, it's an amazing piece of theatre. It's amazing.
It is. It's an amazing story as well. And for you, to be Scar?
I remember seeing the film, and just Scar was just like, I was just like, I loved the character. He just spoke to me. I just was just like, yeah, it was sort of, I just got him, and I don't know what it was about him, but I mean, and it wasn't like I'm some sort of fratricidal maniac or anything like that. It's just he just he just he just spoke to me, and it was just sort of, it's a part that I remember seeing. Then having the chance to audition for it, I never thought, I never even thought about the Lion King, because I thought it's just, that's something that's too big, it's too, I don't know. They'll get someone else to play that part. They'll get someone well known or blah blah blah. So when I got the chance to audition for it, and they sent me the script, and it just, yeah, it just felt right. I don't know. Sometimes you get that as an actor. Sometimes you just identify with a part, and it's just felt right for the last 15 years. You never expect to play a part for so long.
No, never.
You just take it one show at a time, and that you reach a point and you look back, and it's been a certain period of time, and you just go, wow, that's extraordinary. But you're only ever as good as your next show. You're only as good as what you're doing in front of that audience in that show, because it doesn't matter if you were great the night before, that audience didn't see it the night before. You have to be on your game for all the time.
Yeah. Awesome. Absolutely. And you're always on your game. One thing that I really loved about I love the show as a whole, but one of the things that really stood out for me, I knew I was in for something special as soon as I saw the puppetry and everything come on there. Now that must take like some amount of a lot of choreography and everything. So how does it feel for you to be working in that environment and just making sure that because everybody would have to be hitting their marks completely so that the rest of the play can go forward, right?
That's right.
I think I have a special perspective on the opening of the show, because I literally stand at the side of the stage. I come on straight after Circle of Life, and every night I watch the Circle of Life, and I see the parade of animals go past me. I hear Rafiki singing from not just her heart, but from her soul. And you can hear the response from the audience as the elephant comes on stage. Shaun comes up on top of Pride Rock, and we just give each other a little nod, and we're like, okay, this is it. We're going to do it tonight. We're going to give it our all. And I'm just filled with this passion for my job, and I'm just inspired every single night by the opening, and I've seen it thousands of times. So what someone in the audience experiencing that for the first time, it just must be extraordinary.
And then just to add to that, it does energize you. There's sometimes like I said, I'm underneath the rock, so it starts and the whole thing kind of comes up and comes through, and I'm sitting down with Sarabi, and sometimes I'm a little bit tired. And then I hear the praise poetry they sing alongside Rafiki at the beginning. And I tell you, it energizes you. You kind of go, and there's a spirituality, there's a theme that runs through, and you kind of go, we arrived, it begins. And there's nothing like it. I don't think there's any other show in the West End or ever that actually starts like this. I mean, it was your wife that said, and I'll let you kind of just tell Marc what she said.
Well, my wife came backstage after she'd seen it, and she said that she felt a slight melancholy because she'll never get to experience seeing that show for the first time again. And I think that has to be the greatest accolade that anyone can give. Having said that, when she's seen the show again and again and again, she always gets something different from it. And I think that's another thing that you can say about the show, is that it doesn't matter how old you are. When you see the show at a certain age, you'll get something from it, and then when you see it again when you're older, you'll get something completely different. You'll understand it on a much more visceral level.
It's multi-layered.
So I think that, and that's one of the reasons why it is so successful, because it appeals to every age group on so many different levels.
It does, and it's such a powerful story as well. I mean, because I saw I've been lucky enough I've seen the Disney animated version and then I saw it in the cinema as well, and I saw it on its anniversary, and it's just it just stands the test of time. And so every adaptation of it is it's not replacing anything by any means. It's just building on the legacy and what's there for the Lion King, because it's just a massive phenomenon.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, no, I couldn't put it better myself, Mark. You should just do the interview with yourself, because you've got all the answers.
Yeah, it is a masterpiece.
It is. So for you guys, what does it mean for you to be a storyteller and tell stories in this way?
Oh gosh, it's an honor. It's an absolute honor. I think, to actually be able to do this for a living, for a start, is an honor, because people only dream of doing this. So to be able to make a living out of it in itself is just fantastic. But also, to have that responsibility of telling a story, to be able to move people alongside fellow cast members, to be able to have the facilities to be able to do that, is something quite special. And I think we don't actually, and as George and I, we've constantly talk about this. We don't take that for granted, to be able to kind of go, right, okay, we're going to have these people's hearts in our hands, and we're going to take them on a journey alongside our fellow cast members. To kind of let ourselves go, to be able to, the honor and the pleasure to actually do this. We come back afterwards, and there's nothing more satisfying. There's nothing to kind of, sometimes at the beginning of a cast change, we have like this kind of prayer circle that we have. And it's almost like acknowledging the responsibility of being able to tell a story, and being able to having the honor to be able to do that is something that, we'll never take for granted, ever.
I mean, so many times the audience is made up of children who are experiencing theatre for the first time. So we have the opportunity to engender a love of theatre in these children that will last them a lifetime. Also, what you said about storytelling, Mark, is actually really interesting. Humanity is based on storytelling, and humanity is based on storytellers. That's how things were recorded back in the day. It's our responsibility to tell the story of the Lion King as well as we can, and as honestly as we can,
in its purest form. Yeah.
And in its purest form.
Yeah,
and only if we do that will the audience gain the most from it.
Yeah.
If we don't care about it, why should the audience care about it? The audience know what's going through an actor's head. They can see whether an actor is engaged in the process or not. And that's why it is our responsibility to give the best performance and tell the story in the best possible way that we can that night.
And if we're not feeling it, if we're not, if we're not in it, we can't expect the audience to reciprocate that. We can't expect the audience to feel that either. We have to be honest with ourselves. And in doing so, we're honest with the audience. Has to be. There's no other way.
Absolutely. Just touching on your cast, on your other cast there as well. There's a really lovely quick change between the actors that play the young Simba and the older Simba. You know that it's coming because you've seen the film, but it's done in such a seamless way on stage. Is that something that that's all that I suppose as soon as you see that is coming up, that they have to hit that to make sure it's to make it believable?
Yeah, I think, as you say, it is seamless. And what's so lovely is that the young Simba will bring his own energy, and then the older Simba will bring their own energy as well. And so, for the audience, it's almost getting like double delight, and they seamlessly see. They get the energy from the young Simba and then the energy from the older Simba. And the journey that they go through is one that we all go through in our lives, growing up and facing as an adult the responsibility that we absquatulate from as a child. So it's a very important thing, and it's a really good point.
Good point. Disney magic.
Yeah, it's amazing. And one of the other things, I love the show. I'm sure you can tell. One of my other favorite things is the fact that you've been able to put in. So not only have you put in scenes that weren't in the film, but you've also added your own stuff to it. So did you find that was important for this for this type of way to tell the Lion King story?
Yeah, I think with theatre, I think we have the privilege of being able to do that. And like I said, so over 15 years, we've kind of niched our little bits and pieces. We've been able to explore the characters more, and so we can put our kind of personal input into the characters. So, and because it's theatre, we have that liberty. We can do that, and so so we've done that throughout the years, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot more of the African music has been added to the stage show that wasn't in the film. So and that just makes it much more genuine, much more visceral in a way.
An authenticity.
Here's to another 15 years, because you both
Thank
were
you so
incredible
much.
at it. Here's to another 15 years. You both were incredible.
Nice.
Thank you
It's
so
been
much
so
for your
lovely
time.
to chat to you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
brother.
much. Take care.
Take care.
Thanks very
Bye-bye.
much. Bye.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
Everything we see, because this time we play, it is in you.
I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, with the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels. It's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.